the base area and volume of prisms, cylinders, pyramids, and cones. So we have 4 shapes. So for this first one, I can find the base area and volume of prisms and pyramids by using the formula for the area of a rectangle. So maybe we already know the area of a rectangle, hopefully. But right, we have a length and a width, and the area of a rectangle is length times width, or L times W, right? So if I want to find the area of this rectangle, again, area equals length times width. The length is 15. Our width is 6. Feel free to use a calculator. 15 times 6 is 90 feet squared. You must have units. This is a 2 because a rectangle is 2-dimensional. Oops. Dimensional, right? So a rectangle is 2-dimensional, so the unit is squared. All right, so basic area of a rectangle, again, we probably already know, hopefully. So then we can go into volume. So volume of a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism is just a fancy name for a box. Okay, so it's a box. It's the math name for a box. So the volume is length times width times height. So I have my length, my width, and then the height is going up and down here, all right? So the base area, that's okay. The base area of, or the base of a rectangular prism is the bottom. Base equals bottom. Okay. So the bottom of this is a rectangle. I don't know why that disappeared. That's weird. So I'm going to use area equals length times width. Our length is 16. And our width is 13. I'm not going to worry about doing that in my head. 16 times 13 is 208. Our unit is feet. And this, again, squared, it's the base area, the actual base of it, it's just that rectangle, is 2-dimensional. Now I'm going to find the whole volume. Right, so now this is the volume of the whole shape. So volume equals length times width times height. So my length and width are still the same, so I have that 16, the 13 for my width, and then my height is 22. And we get 4,576. And this is feet. Now this is feet cubed. Okay, volume is of the shape of a three-dimensional figure. So that's why our unit gets cubed. Okay. Units are important. Points will be taken off on a test for not having correct units. All right, looking at our second one. All right, we're doing our base area again, which is just the bottom of it. Which equals our length is 24, right? Our width is 20. And 24 times 20 equals 480. Now this unit is centimeters, so that's centimeters squared. Same idea for volume. Volume equals length times width times height. Again, our length is 24. Our width is 20. And our height is this 10. Type that in a calculator, we get 4,800 centimeters cubed. Again, cubed because now it's three-dimensional. Area is two-dimensional, volume is three-dimensional. Okay. All right, that is it for a rectangular prism. Go ahead, turn the page. For the next shape we are looking at is a pyramid. So a pyramid looks like a pyramid, right? It still has a rectangular bottom. So the base is still a rectangle. Right? But the top is just a point, right? So all the sides meet at this point instead of having a flat top as well. Okay. So for our base area problem here, I'm still going to say area equals length times width, right? Because it's still a rectangle on the bottom. My length is 25. And my width, right, is also 25. And we get 625. This doesn't have any units, so I'm going to say units squared. I don't know what the unit is, but when it gives me one, right, I'll be able to do that. So it's 625 units squared. Now for our volume formula is very similar to our volume of a pyramid is very similar to volume of a prism. It just has this 1/3 there. Okay, so that's the biggest part that changes. So we need to make sure we have that 1/3. Our length is still 25. Our width, right, is still 25. And our height is 10. I'm going to type all this in my calculator, so I have 1 divided by 3 times 25 times 25 times 10. It's okay to have a decimal. It's also okay to have it as a fraction. So my decimal is 2083.3. You may also have a fraction. Okay. So if you get it as a fraction instead of a decimal, that is fine. I am not going to worry about decimals versus fractions. All right, looking at example 5. Again, starting with our base area. Our length is 32, and our width is 14. And 32 times 14 is 448 units squared. Okay. Then for our volume formula, right? Volume equals 1/3 times length times width times height. Our length is still 32. Our width is still 14. And our height is 60. Right? Not what I wanted. So then I'm going to type in, not what I wanted, 1 divided by 3 times 32 times 14 times 60. I get 8,960. And this is units cubed. All right, and that is it for our first section on volume. Go ahead and get started on your D1 activity.